Why is food security important to you as an issue? The food world is big. You know, you could be a food blogger, you could do all kinds of different things. Why food security?
I thought you were going to answer some questions too here. You're putting me on the spot.
You can ask me some. And I'll try to think of my answer as well.
Yeah, I think you should be answering too. Because I think you have a lot to add to that conversation too.
I can give it a go, actually.
And we can back and forth and like add on. Because like if I miss anything, like definitely bring it up.
Yes. Now, when Olivia gives her answer, it will be amazing. Mine isn't. Mine is more from maybe the scholarship side, or the industry side. But why does food security matter to me? As I said earlier, it's one of the first times that we've approached this issue of not having enough food in a more strategic manner, just in the world in general. Sustainability, you know, we're familiar with that term. It has, you know, there's economic sustainability, environmental sustainability, social sustainability. So there's kind of these frameworks that we have for quantifying and understanding sustainability. Food security, because it's new, it's really fascinating and interesting and difficult to comprehend. How do we become food secure? And if we're going to approach it strategically like sustainability, what 3 or 4 kind of issues can we as professional chefs or as food scholars intersect with in those conversations in order to make substantive difference? There isn't an answer to that right now. It's kind of an endless question. And on top of that, I do personally believe that when it comes to studying food, whether it's as a cook or whether it's as a food historian or a food sociologist or someone, nutrition, any of the fields that study food, I do believe that food is such a thing that it can't remain just in the books or theoretical. It's an applied field of study, regardless of whether it's pure scholarship or pure community development. Both of them are kind of influenced scholarship and what's happening on the ground by each other. So I think that's why I like food security. I ethically believe that because we work in food, we have a duty to explore these questions. But on the other hand, there isn't a clear or obvious or immediate answer to the questions of food security that are economic, social, cultural, political, etc.
Yeah, I agree so much with everything you just said. And I love that it's such an intersecting topic. And I think that just goes to show, why it matters to so many people. Like, food brings everyone to the table.
Yes.
And it's something everyone can relate to, and we can grapple with it in so many different ways. And it's just, it matters to everyone in a different way, from agriculture to nutrition. And I personally love the community development aspect of it as well. And just empowering people to build their communities the way that they want them, and to take more control of their food system and become better connected to the food that they're eating and growing and sharing.
Absolutely. It's amazing, as you say, Olivia, the connection to food. We can all eat the same thing, and what we think and say about it is really quite different when you unpack it. How people experience the exact same meal is totally different person to person. And it is so fascinating in community development that you get to hear people kind of speak about these things and hopefully work toward having, the type of food world that they describe. So that's awesome. So this is an easy one.
Why don't I believe you?
Who can help with food security? So is food security, that's just up to, the mayor and city council or, the prime minister. It's not really a thing you and I can make a difference in. Is that true or no?
If I believed that were true, I wouldn't have been working so hard with the Brandon Food Council.
Absolutely.
No, I believe that everyone can make a difference and take part in food security, and that everyone's perspectives are important, and all of our lenses matter in this issue as we grapple with it and kind of discover what a food secure community and a food secure country are going to look like.
So how do people learn about food security issues? Because, is food security obvious? Am I going to see it, or what am I looking for if I'm trying to identify how to get involved in food security?
I would bring you back to the 5 A's again on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You can analyze and assess different interventions that are food security interventions. So that could be food banks, community gardens, social enterprises. There's so many different ways to increase food security. So it's just making sure that, you're hitting nutrition, you're hitting agency, you're hitting acceptability, all these different pieces. So yeah, I think there's just so many ways that you can create food security, but there's no one approach that's going to hit every single 5A. It's not going to meet all of your objectives.
So food security is maybe something that you can identify around you more over the long term than the short term. It's difficult to just maybe go and look and see food insecurity. But if you pay attention, say over a few years, and you read local stories and you hear what people are saying, is that when you're more likely to kind of have a better handle on what food security is locally?
I think it's more of a vision. I think it's like what we're really trying to achieve. It's these like altruistic and idealistic outcomes that we're trying to create. And I think there's just so many pathways to do that.
I completely agree, actually, absolutely. So then back to that question of who can get involved and who is involved, and who are the type of people that have these ideal visions or are comfortable working toward something that might not be completely clear what exactly the mission is. What type of people are kind of drawn to that?
I think it draws everyone for different reasons. There's people that are really passionate about sustainability and reducing climate change and increasing our resilience as a community. There's people with lived experience of food insecurity that just want to make sure that people in their community are fed and have access to good food. Just everyone has a different reason for being involved and different ways that they want to help and contribute.
I would really certainly agree. It is surprising the variety of people who take part in food security discussions when they happen here in Brandon, or when I see them, televised or sent out on social media. I guess we don't televise things anymore. And it is really striking that food security is a grassroots movement. It really is made from our neighbors, us, and people who are willing to work together to increase food security. So, you do also see a lot of people who work in community development, in community organizations, people who work in the not-for-profit sector, quite a few academics, actually, a surprising number, chefs. So there really is a cross section of people in all aspects of food security, it seems, and the politicians, et cetera, that everyone is kind of important to bring this vision alive.